Yeah, there we go. It's doing it.
Now it likes our audio.
Okay.
Do this again. We got like no listeners now. Ready?
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
a nation under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, conceal carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the War Room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
And we're back. Once again, it is Saturday afternoon, and we are tucked away in the War Room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. And joining me tonight is the gunslinger.
Hello.
That's how his mommy and daddy referred to him on the birth certificate.
Yes.
The gunslinger. It has forever shaped his future.
Yeah.
And
really.
I am full of Christmas cheer this evening.
Full of Christmas kombucha.
I've got my kombucha. There's a camera. I got my kombucha, and we are good to go. And I think I want to open it. We just opened the podcast, but I think I want to open it with some more Christmas cheer. That's one way to open the podcast. Christmas cheer brought to you the Patriot Defense Way.
Yeah, there you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
And explosions.
So, Mr. Gunslinger, what have you been up to lately?
Just selling guns and
there's nothing
ammo
to sell.
And yeah, there's ammo. We've actually been seeing ammo coming in.
You actually have. So
yeah.
you got ammo in a few times this week, didn't you?
I think 3 times in a week.
I think I walked away with like almost 300 rounds total from your establishment.
We got a lot of ammo in, actually. I mean, we're talking like 1,000-round counts of stuff.
Whoa.
So
I'm looking for some 380.
No, yeah, we didn't get any 380.
I need some 380 because I need to get my mom a Christmas present.
Oh, stocking stuff.
And when I saw that unicorn about a month ago, I probably should have bought it.
Yeah.
Because it was like I could have bought 2 boxes and they would have been like 200-round packs. And I let it slip between my fingers. I was too worried about the 9mm.
It happens.
And I stared at it for quite a while. I put it under my arm and I packed it around with me for quite a while. And I just, I put it back, and I shouldn't have put it back.
Well, hindsight being 2020, you can't see very well.
No,
I don't know.
So 380, have you seen any 380 come in at all?
No, not late. No, I mean, like I did see some 30-30, which is pretty rare.
Yeah.
I mean, for lever guns, but
did it get picked up pretty quick?
Yes. Well, we were doing like 1 box per customer on that stuff because that's very hard to find, actually. So,
well, you also had some 300 blackout. I saw some 300 blackout there.
300 blackout. We got some of that in. A lot of 5.56. That's what we got the 1,000-round packs of.
So I was there at your store, your place of business. They're not your store, but the place you work at.
Yeah.
And I saw a life choice be made, a big decision.
Uh-oh.
This gentleman was standing right there, and he picked up the 300 blackout, picked up 2 boxes because you guys changed your limits now.
Yeah.
So he picked up your two boxes, and then he noticed that there was some 9mm behind the counter.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, and I'll take 2, whatever I take is the 9mm. And I believe it was Jeremy there working. Good on him. He followed the rules, and he said, sir, I can only sell you 2 boxes of ammo total.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, it's got to be 1 and 1 or 2 and 2, or you got to make the choice. And that gentleman stood there for about 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And he was weighing the decision in his
Yeah.
life. And me and Jeremy tried to help him. And we were like, so we've been getting a 9 mil in, not me, but Jeremy. I was like,
Yeah.
he's like, but that 300 blackout, that's more of a unicorn.
Yeah.
And that gentleman, he walked away with the 300 blackout. He said
it's tough.
He told me, he said, and it's funny. He told me, he's like, I've got lots of 9 mil. I've got like 400 rounds at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah, you got lots of 9 mil.
Yeah.
You got 400 rounds at home.
Well, we ended up, we took one of the 1,000 round packs. It's all loose packs, so we can't sell it, bullet at a time, unfortunately. Right. But a couple of us at the counter, we decided we were going to buy one and then we'd split it amongst ourselves. So
what? We
didn't all like buy the 1,000 round packs. We just bought one pack and divided it up between us.
So it come in those boxes. If someone because someone wanted to buy 2 of those, could they have bought 2 of them?
No, those we were limiting to 1. Yeah, because that's a lot of ammo.
You got to learn how to play the game, man.
I got 600 rounds of that 1,000 round stuff. And I'm looking in there and I'm just grabbing handfuls and handfuls and handfuls, transferring it over out of the box into my ammo cans. Yeah. And I'm like, 600 rounds doesn't seem like a lot, but man, when you're grabbing it and handful at a time, there's a lot there.
Yeah. Was that steel case stuff or?
No, this was all 55 grain ball ammo, 193s.
Brass.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
So I have a bunch of green tip, bunch of steel clear case stuff, but
I
needed some 55 grain.
So what was your ammo total for the week? I know you haven't been buying it like me.
Oh gosh.
What was your ammo total? We always go over this every podcast.
So I bought a couple more 9s. I probably picked up 900. Yeah, about 900 rounds. That's of different stuff.
Right. I mean. So I wasn't quite that successful. I think I got 300 rounds of 9 mil, and I ended up with 200 rounds of 22 long rifle. I ended up with 100 rounds of 22. Is it Aguila?
Yeah, Aguila, yeah.
Is that how they say that?
I don't know. That sounds Spanish to me, and that's
if anyone knows how to say that, let me know. Is it Aguila or Aguila?
I mean, I think it's Spanish, so.
It's got a picture of like a little animal on it too, like an
eagle or something,
like a bird. No, it's not an eagle.
It's not an eagle.
I don't know. It's a freaking sparrow or something.
Maybe it's a chupacabra.
El chupacabra. But no, I got 100 rounds of regular stuff, and then I grabbed some of the because at the other place that I went to get it, it's like 2 boxes per SKU, right?
Right.
So I wanted the regular stuff, but I also bought 2 boxes of the little subsonic.
Yeah,
and I'm finding out that's kind of fun for winged pests.
Yeah,
we're gonna leave it at
nemesis.
that. My nemesis, and so they can shoot those, and I don't think my dog's gonna go quite as nuts.
Yeah,
because I got a big ass dog, and
you still hear it out of the barrel, but downrange it doesn't give off a report. So
well, the winged nemesis of mine. Yeah. They know when I breathe, or they know when I think I'm going to open the door and then take off.
They know your plan before you do.
They really do. So I'm looking up here at the comments because, again, we are doing YouTube live, and I'm sorry for the hiccup at first. Sometimes the audio doesn't transfer over like it should, but it looks like we're up and running now. We had a gentleman comment. He said, I can hear you, which is good. That's what we asked, if you hear the audio. So thank you for responding. And then he posted some comment I didn't understand, but then he reposted, said he meant that we should ship him some ammo to North Carolina.
Yes. Well,
sorry. Sorry. I'm kind of an ammo hoarder. It's what I do. It's essentially, I have not had that many classes the last couple of weeks because I've been signing a lot of people up for January, but I haven't had a lot of physical classes. I had one today, but for the last couple of weeks. And so I consider another part of my job going around hitting up all the stores for ammo.
Well, in your line of work, it's definitely necessary.
It is, because I need more ammo. I can never have enough ammo.
Well, I mean,
I need lots of ammo.
If people show up for a class that can't find ammo, yeah.
then I'm going to thumb my nose at him and say, ha ha ha, I have ammo,
Right.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. So
You couldn't find any ammo? Well, you didn't look hard enough.
So I took possession finally. I finally took possession of my VP9 2020.
2020. You almost didn't. And because as soon as I found out it was at the store,
yes,
I'm like, oh, well, this might be coming home with me. It's already paid for.
It was already paid for. But and you got to stand there and watch me fill out that Nick's bag. I hate that thing.
I had to watch you fill it out, and I
hate that.
I had to open the gun box and look at it though.
But you know what? I still haven't shot it. And you want to know why?
No plate.
Because I ain't got a freaking adapter plate for it. So I struggled. Am I going to mill my slide? What am I going to do? I don't want to buy a new gun. They're freaking $700 because they are.
They are, yeah.
Because I got to buy one that was milled and all this crap going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Finally, after talking with you, you kind of convinced me, just get one that's milled, right? That's what you do. You didn't tell me to, but that's what you do. So that's what I did, right? And now I can't find a freaking adapter plate.
Exactly.
Like nothing. People are like, go get rid of that Burris fast fire.
Let's just get some Gorilla Glue and just stick it on there.
They're like, get rid of that Burris fast fire. Get a Holosun. You can find a plate for a I can't. All the popular plates are no longer in existence. Nobody freaking has them.
Yeah.
I even looked to get one machined at a machine shop, and they said it was not going to be worth my while. It's going to cost way too much money. And
that's why I haven't gone red dot yet. I mean, I shot one
the
first time today, but
once you go red dot, you'll never go back.
Yeah,
so
either that or your credit's messed up.
Yeah. Well, my credit. So here's the thing: is I've spent lots of money on a red dot, lots of money on a new gun, and the only thing keeping me from proceeding is a $25 plate. So if anyone knows where it's called a number 5 plate. It's made by H&K, number 5 adapter plate for a Burris Fast Fire 3. I need it. I will pay for it. Well, it depends on what you're asking. If you know where one is, I need it. Let me know. I need that plate. I'm getting irritated. I want to get this put on this gun.
I'm going to find out where there's one, and then I'm going to hold it from you.
I'll pay you $150 for it. Actually, I won't. That's a lie. I'll pay you $100 for it. No.
What if I bought it for $150?
Then I'm going to laugh at you because you can have a plate.
Oh.
And you're going to have no VP 9 2020.
Maybe we can use it to 3D print one for you then.
Ooh, scan it. Oh, scan it. That's not cool. That my phone came through.
Oh, you still have Bluetooth.
Yeah, Bluetooth is still on, so we will. Sorry about that. Dang it! Dang technology. That was one of those days. But now I'm a little off my game now, dude. So what was I talking about? That gun. I was talking
about the VP9.
Guess what I got to shoot today? Ruger 5.7.
Oh yeah, and
I like it.
Yeah, you do. I knew you would.
I like it. I don't know that I've never shot the FM57. I'm not sure that I'm a huge fan of the FM57. But I like the Ruger 5.7. It was a flat shooting gun.
Mm-hmm.
Really flat shooting gun.
Yep.
And I'm going to shoot my lovely bride here. Little text not to call me. Don't call. I'm podcasting. This is super professional. This is why we have all the sponsors. It's exactly why we have all the sponsors.
Well, you got at least one. So
yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and just. I think I'm just going to shut the Bluetooth off.
All right.
Okay. So hey, there. I was thinking about something.
Oh,
Did you see the article? Did you see that article? That came out of Utah. I think it was today. I know.
Yeah.
So let me
talking about the robberies, right?
Yeah. So Alex sent me. Alex is a listener, and he sent this to me. It was in Utah, which is just down the road, a little ways from us, and the ATF is offering a reward.
A reward
of $10,000 because
any information about guns stolen in Utah.
Yes. So what it was is there was 3 gun stores, right?
The rest, yes,
that were burglarized.
Yes, three stores. Wasatch Guns in Layton, Cal Ranch in St. George, and Discount Firearms in Salt Lake.
So that's crazy, all in the same night. I mean, what are the?
That's a little well. So St. George is pretty south Utah. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
but what?
Maybe they were like organized crime.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, kind of like Joe Biden, organized crime family.
We got us a gun thieving triangle going on here, man.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, if they all kind of did it in the same night. The one in Layton, there was 17 guns stolen. Cal Ranch in St. George, there was 15 guns, and the one in Salt Lake was 13 guns. And I'm curious to see if, like, they
where these guns
kind of cased the place and picked out like the ones that I don't know if they just grabbed any gun or if there were specific ones that they were.
Yeah, we're not getting that information,
right?
Not yet, anyway. But it just seems kind of odd that in that state on the same night there was 3 gun stores that were burglarized and there was a gun heist, man.
That's pretty much.
I mean,
what it equates to.
Where are they taking them? What are they doing with them? Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
But if you do know, call the ATF. $10,000 in your pocket.
Besides that, the ATF wants to talk to you right now.
Yes, I'm sure they do.
They want to talk to you right now.
Yep.
Why do they want to talk to us? What are they doing?
They want to talk all the bull crap that they're doing. Is what they want to do.
They're coming after arm braces.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming after 80% lower kits, 80% kits.
Yep. Because man, heaven forbid you have an arm brace.
Yes.
Gosh, that's going to make that weapon so much more dangerous.
So all they're doing, and I didn't get into reading the wording and stuff like that. I mean, I should, right? I have people that read it and tell me kind of what's going on with it. But it's really interesting to me because, what they're essentially doing is they're creating a gun registration. That's all it is. It's a gun. It's a straight up gun registration.
And I kind of want to know what happened. I mean, so pistol, the arm braces, they were legit for however many years.
Right.
What happened that made them all of a sudden like not legit?
Okay, so you want to this? Let me tell you this. So I don't have right now. I don't have. I guess I always have a dog in this fight, right? Because I'm a firearm owner, but I don't have an actual dog in this fight, right? I don't have any of that stuff. But this is what I heard, and you tell me. We heard it through someone we both know. I heard it through someone we both know, and it makes sense. He wasn't trying to get out of it, but this is kind of what he was explaining. So now I'm just going to preface this with, excuse me if I make some kind of mistake here, because I'm not I've stated how many times I'm not a rifle guy. I'm not into it. I've never built one. I've bought one. It hasn't seen the light of day in many years. And I don't have anything against them or those who like them, but that's not me. So the arm brace, the original arm brace that they're talking about, right, came, and this is what he told me, was developed to enable people with disabilities, right, to be able to shoot. Correct?
Okay, I guess
that's what I'm told. And then once that was ATF approved that, and they went on with it. This could be totally wrong. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Approved that and went with it. He said then people actually started, different companies actually were like, oh yeah, just put an arm brace on it. Oh yeah, just put an arm brace on it. Just put an arm brace on it. And he says over time, these arm braces got down to the point where you can't even get an arm in there anymore.
Right. It's just kind of evolved.
It's just kind of evolved.
There's a blade and there's different ones.
And so it's kind of like people have taken it, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but they have taken it and they just kind of run with it, right? They found the loophole. I won't say loophole. That's a bad word.
They twisted the words.
They twisted it to use, and now the ATF is coming after that.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, it is ridiculous.
A short barrel rifle is not any more dangerous than a regular rifle.
Right, and we shouldn't have any kinds of regulations. But I'm just explaining kind of what I heard, what I was told.
Based on the definitions of the NFA, a pistol is one that can be fired with one hand.
Right.
But look at all your modern ways of shooting. Everybody should be using two hands. I mean,
right.
Granted, there's situations you probably wouldn't, but
so I've got something. Oh shoot. Keep talking about it.
I think what needs to happen, instead of the ATF coming after people and possibly turning people into criminals just because they own something, maybe they need to ratify the NFA. Maybe they need to fix some of that stuff. And, you know,
Right.
instead of just making everybody, you know, instantly illegal, maybe they should change their policies and not, you know, what we have to abide by.
Right.
So I don't know. The ATF, I believe there is a place for them to some degree, to very small degree, but right now this is ridiculous. The stuff they're going after.
Right.
And 80% lower is not a gun.
Right.
It's a chunk of metal.
So let me throw this out there. So this was mentioned by Matt, who we know is James or Magnum. We say Magnum. We call him Magnum. He'll know who he is. This is what he texted me, and he texted me this during our radio show. It says, "This isn't about the brace. It is about the forced registration through the redefinition of guns, especially with handguns." He says the tax stamp will be required for defined assault weapons, and he says eventually they have left the definition open enough, things that you use with one hand and all that, to even eventually include things like the G17 or G45, stuff like that. So that is what we have to worry about.
Oh yeah, because you give them a little, they're going to take a lot.
Yeah.
So.
And they're going to run with it. And that's all this is forced gun registration. They're compiling a list because, you know, Biden and his team, right, his administration, they're just prepping. They're getting ready.
This reminds me of something, and it's kind of going off, but it's going to come right back. We had a phone call the other day at work. Some lady, and I get it. Everybody's got their own opinion, but we have a big sign out front of our store that says masks, you know, to mask up required because of the COVID thing.
Right.
So she calls and she says, "You have this big sign out there that says that, but you're not enforcing it at all." And I'm like, I basically wanted to tell her on the phone, well, why don't you come down here and you try to enforce it?
Right.
You know, there's no law that says you have to.
Was she referring to me?
No, but I'm like, you know, go ahead and try and enforce that.
Right.
That's the same thing that's going to happen with the ATF is they don't have enough people to enforce everywhere.
Right.
They just don't. And local law enforcement, I don't see is going to enforce a lot of this stuff.
Right. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how this plays out. But another aspect of this, and you know, I've always got to jump on this aspect of it, always got to bring this up, is the GOA, the Gun Owners of America. While the NRA, why my favorite Second Amendment group, the NRA, is busy giving some poor child Nerf guns because Santa told him he couldn't have a gun, which wasn't right. But
I feel bad for the kid, but still.
The NRA is fighting this with everything they got. And they're bringing that kid bags of Nerf guns.
Yeah.
While the NRA is busy doing that, we got the GOA, which is Gun Owners of America, calling on President Trump to fire the head of the ATF.
Yes. I wouldn't say just the head. I'd say the whole upper branch.
Now, is it going to last? I don't know if he did that, if it would last. They'd just reinstate him afterwards if Biden's in or whatever, however that works out. I mean, we need the Cajun Cowboy here. He could tell us more about that stuff. But at least somebody is doing something. And come on, President Trump. Come on, Donald Trump. Do something for the Second Amendment. You haven't done anything to the Second Amendment. You have allowed them to come after our take our bump stocks, piece of plastic. I know, but it was just the whole point of the deal, right? That's all you've done. You haven't done anything to further the Second Amendment. I mean, you got to the point where, you know, people said, "Oh yeah, he furthered the Second Amendment. He placed a bunch of Supreme Court justices in there on our side." You know what? They didn't even save him.
No, they didn't.
They didn't even save him. And now he's not doing anything. Come on, do this one thing for us.
He's got
even if
a few days left.
Even if it lasts,
I don't know.
Even if it lasts 2 or 3 weeks. I don't care. Get in there and fire people.
Yeah.
Shake them up. Say, this is screwed up and we're not going to take this anymore.
It's
do what you can while you can.
It's anti-American is what it is. It really is.
It definitely is.
And any ATF agent that follows through with that, I mean,
oh yeah.
You call yourself an American?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. It's a job.
Oh yeah.
That's not right.
No.
I mean, I can understand criminals, you know, If you lose your rights, then that's one thing. But all you're going to be doing is hurting the law-abiding citizen who did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
So
it's anyhow, that's my rant against the NRA and against Trump right now. So just so everyone's on the same page, I'm ranting.
yeah, I just want to clarify. I believe the NFA should be completely abolished, but if that's not going to happen, then we need to ratify it.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do too. So
their wording is so messed up in there.
So do you got something you want to talk about for a minute? Because I got to make a phone call and I've got to get our guest on. And so I'm going to have to shut my microphone off.
Okay.
Are you good with that, dude?
I can do it.
Are you good with that?
Yeah, we covered some stuff. I just got to check it off
Just
my
keep
list.
rolling.
Okay.
Just keep checking it off your list. Keep talking. And I am going to make a quick phone call.
Okay. So we're going to dive into the Cheaper Than Dirt I believe it's Texas is filing lawsuit against Cheaper Than Dirt, which a lot of us have gone on the internet and, Midway USA, different websites we buy stuff from. Cheaper Than Dirt's usually one of them, which lately they haven't been that cheap, which is a lot of the lawsuits claim is that they're price gouging things right now. And, at our store, we did raise prices a little bit, but we had to because of factory, like the federal, all the different firearms the ammo manufacturers raise the prices. So we have to follow suit with that. But we're not price gouging by any means. I mean, our ammo is still very, very reasonably priced, I think. Little more than what I would prefer to pay, obviously, but there's certain places in town also where we live that are, I believe, price gouging. And I don't think it's right. If it's legal or not, it's still not right. So, getting the sign to keep going here. What else? Primers, powder, all that stuff. Good luck finding it. We're going to play something later on that's it's a message basically from the CEO of CCI and Federal, Remington, Spear, all those guys. They're basically getting fed up with all the stuff. And we got an audio clip that we can play for that. It'll come on a little later. But for now, you want to play it now? Okay, yeah, we'll play it right now. Okay, cool.
Hi, I'm Jason Vanderbrink, president of Federal, CCI, Spear, and Remington Ammunition. And I got to say, I am tired of all the hate mail. I'm tired of people showing up at our factories. I'm tired of reading the misinformation out on the internet right now about us not trying to service the demand that we're experiencing. It gets really old when I hear and read constantly that our ammunition companies are not making ammunition. We're having secret warehouses. We are selling to only specific customers. And after a year like right now where we have hired hundreds of employees to support American manufacturing jobs, all I hear is we're not making ammunition. So we want to keep the team motivated so we continue to make ammunition to try to service this market. But if we just look back on basic economics, 7 million new shooters since March times 2 boxes, which is a conservative estimate, is 700 million new rounds of ammunition our 3 factories have to help produce. That is impossible to do in 9 months. It takes months to train people. You actually got to train people to make ammunition. That takes time. You got to get the raw materials. And on top of that all, we're dealing with a pandemic. And at all of our ammunition factories, the health and safety of our personnel and employees are number one. So tie all of that in together, and you will see today that we are indeed making ammunition. We indeed are shipping ammunition. We're not storing it in secret warehouses. But I wanted to address those rumors because every day I hear something new and it's simply not true.
Storing it
We're
in my
making
warehouse.
all of the ammunition as fast as we can. We really, really feel humbled that the demand is high for our products. And I ask, please squash the rumors. You don't have to believe everything that's out on the internet. We are doing our damnedest to meet this demand. We appreciate all of our support for American manufacturing jobs, and it really humbles our thousands of team members that you've chosen our brands to help you with your hobbies, self-defense, hunting. We feel humble. But again, please understand, we are doing everything we can to meet this demand.
And I say good on him.
Yeah, good on him. I'm glad they put that video out because ammo was so hard to find. And, I've actually heard some of those rumors, and I obviously didn't buy into them except for the storing ammo in a secret warehouse because that's here. But I got good security, and you'll never find the ammo. We store it below the war room. Never
Right, yeah.
But no, it was good for him. So they are working hard, but there's just so many new gun owners. There's so many people demanding ammo right now. It's just absolutely unbelievable.
I still believe that if everybody would just stop for 2 weeks, and this goes with gas prices, it goes with anything.
Right.
Everybody needs to stop buying for 2 weeks. You watch those shelves get stocked right back up again.
I can't stop and I won't stop.
I know that's everybody's mentality, but if it's amazing how fast it would come back.
I can't stop and I won't stop. Hey, I want to throw this out there really quick here. We have a guest on the show this evening, and we just kind of crossed our lines here, but I think we got him on there. I'm hoping I worked this board right. John, can you hear us?
Yes, I can, sir. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. You got him?
Yeah,
is he coming in both ears or one?
Just one, but that's cool.
That's weird. I wonder why that's happening.
I can still hear it.
Okay, well, that's odd, but okay, we're just going to go with that because I'm not technical enough to get this figured out. I'm not sure what's going on, but Mr. John, you are coming to us from behind enemy lines.
Yes, I am.
Enemy lines, man. That's kind of crazy. So where you don't have to say exactly where you're at, but you can.
I don't care about that. Rockland County, New York. So I'm not too far north of New York City.
Right. Okay. So. And you're a new gun owner, is that it?
Yeah, I picked up my first gun in April of this year.
Okay, and what caused you to want to do that?
Honestly, I've always liked guns. I've never had anything against them. I just never felt, I don't know, I just for whatever reason never felt the need to have one.
Right.
Until you just watched all this nut job crap that was going on with on the news with riots and people fighting over toilet paper and and then we know what happened after everything else went down when Rodney or not the other guy in Minneapolis. It just went south from there, man. It was just it was like one of those things. I looked at life and I was just like, you know what? I really think we should have a gun in the house.
Right.
Yeah. That's good.
I hear that. I have a lot of people, when I do my classes, that's exactly their exact thinking is we've got to, they watch the news, they see what's going on and they're like, it's, I've thought about it maybe for a long time, but I never saw the need for it necessarily. And now I'm thinking that this needs to be done. And so they get a gun, and you've been doing some pretty serious training as well, haven't you?
Yeah, well, it's funny because when I decided that I was going to get the gun, I went down to my local gun shop, Shoots and Ladders, little local guy in town, and he happened to have a shotgun down there that I took a look at. And as soon as I figured out, I kind of knew that the shotgun was what I was after. Because as a first-time gun buyer, I guess a lot of people, when you go after your home defense scenario, shotgun is like the first thing that I think a lot of people will look at, and that was the case for me.
Right.
So, yeah, right away I started talking to him about, where can I go to get training? I'm like, everything's closed down right now. And, he gave me the name of a local instructor, and I just hooked up with him and got my first class in May, about a month after I got the shotgun. And that was it. I was hooked. Not only was I hooked on learning, I was also hooked on shooting.
Right.
It was just a ton of fun. And the group of people that I met blew away every, stereotype that you might have of the gun community, having never been there before.
Right.
It blew it away because everybody was so welcoming. Everybody was so nice. Everybody was so humble. There was no, look at me kind of thing. It was all, everybody just kind of took you in, and they helped you out, and they walked you through, and they watched what you did, and they gave you pointers and stuff. And it was, that was it, man. I just knew I just wanted to get a class, one class a month is pretty much what I've been doing since.
Yeah. We deal with that a lot at the gun counter, where, get the new buyers, and they're not sure what they're looking for. They're not sure what to do. And, I always tell them everybody's got to start somewhere. So that's good.
Had you ever, before you bought your first gun, a shotgun, or even decided this, had you ever shot a gun before?
BB guns and a 22.
Okay.
As a kid going through 4-H camp.
Gotcha. And I really like how you pointed out that, the community of people that you met, the group of people that you're around, they were very welcoming, because I see that in my classes. I mean, we have people from all walks of life. Some people have been shooting a bunch. Some are brand new. Some of them maybe just be, fresh off the boat. They just moved here from another, like a war-torn country or something. And they may be very scared of firearms, but they decided that this is for them and they want to try this, right? And I have never, in the 8 years I've been doing this, ever had any problem with anyone speaking down to someone else. Everyone, they're just encouraging. And I'm the instructor, right? But I think I don't discourage people by any means, but I think the people in the class are probably more encouraging than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it's phenomenal. Someone makes a good shot and maybe they've never shot a handgun before, and everyone cheers and claps and
high fives,
gives them high fives. Right. And it's just a wonderful community. I've never been a part of a community that has been like that before. And it's always stood out to me too. And I'm glad you noticed that as well.
Yeah, well, if you sit and watch some of these anti-gun groups and stuff, they make it sound and on their Facebook pages, the Trace, the Bloomberg thing, you'll see the people who are anti-gun on those posts. They automatically they just have this assumption that everybody is a whack job that has a gun in their hands, and they're just looking to go out and shoot everything up. And I guess you can't help but instill some of that as a preconceived idea of what the gun community might be about, or you might run into a few of those guys when you start going to classes. So
right.
I know a bunch of people that I've tried to get into taking classes now since I've gotten into it, and a few of them are still apprehensive. But you watch the first timers come in. Not that I'm that experienced at this point, but I've been to a bunch of the classes with this guy, and I can see when somebody new comes in, and I try and do for them what the other guys did for me. I'll go up and say hi, I'll introduce myself, ask them if it's their first class, and you just try and be as welcoming as you can be to them, because that's what I experienced.
Right.
It's really cool.
Yeah, no, and that's awesome that you do that, because that's the future of the Second Amendment right there, right? We have to be welcoming. We've got to bring people in, and just now with everything that's going on, I'm pretty sure you probably heard that clip, and it probably was too loud in your phone when I got you fired up here, but they were talking about all the new gun owners, right? And a lot of those gun owners, they don't always, lean right. Some of those are they're Democrats, they're liberals, right?
There's a lot of them,
and there are, and they have just now realized that they have, their new gun owners, they've realized that they've been lied to. They've been lied to. It's not as easy to get a firearm as what you think, and so I think that if they are going to move forward and they are going to come and they are going to learn. Right. And learn how to defend themselves and learn how to, stand up for the Second Amendment, that they need people to be accepting and not, oh, you Democrat, what are you doing here? You've tried to take our guns. You've tried to this, you tried to that. We don't need to chase them off. We need to be there and help them and educate them and welcome them. And I think that you're doing a great job of that. And I applaud you for that. I think that the gun community as a whole does pretty good at that. And I think that if there are some of them that don't, I think they probably get weeded out really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's like, I haven't met anybody that kind of fits. I've met a few guys that are like, they kind of have that little bit of a bravado thing going on, but they keep it in check
Right.
at the classes. But, I mean, the other thing that really struck me is when I got into the gun community and I started talking to people, and then more importantly, is I started to look at, being that I live in New York and we have the Cuomo's unsafe, we call it the unsafe act, but he calls it the safe act here.
Right.
And I never realized just how difficult it has become to obtain a firearm in New York, and how limited what you can actually buy is here. I mean, you guys can have all these really cool rifles and stuff out there in free America. I mean, we actually have some cool stuff, and I sent you that picture of my AR-9.
Yes.
It's got everything you guys have.
Oh yeah. It's slick.
And it's technically legal, but it's because it falls into that whole, other loophole, I guess, whether it's a loophole or not. I call it a loophole, but because I'm sure the government's going to try and close it.
Oh, they will.
Everything going on with
it's one of the classifications.
You can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see what they're doing now with the pistol braces now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they're coming after those things with that.
So where, and you just have to, I'm not behind enemy lines, and you need to like move somewhere where you can be more free, I think.
Yeah, I know I do.
But let me throw this out there, and I may be ignorant to the whole fact. You're talking to someone who doesn't like to leave his 2 acres, but so in New York, I mean, how hard is it just to go out and shoot? I mean, are there I mean,
it's really hard.
Yeah. I would imagine it's you got to be a member of a range, or there's not very many ranges. I mean, here we can go out into the desert and we can just start shooting.
Yeah, no, I mean, here where I live in Rockland County, you can't discharge a firearm on anywhere, I think, in the county, unless you're on a range. And there's only like a small and they're all indoor that I know of,
right,
in Rockland County. But once you start to get upstate, it's a lot more friendly. And when I say upstate, I'm talking about like just the county above me.
Right.
It gets a lot more friendly there because there's more open land. So it's if you have land and you can be 500 feet off a road and 500 feet away from a dwelling, you can discharge a firearm if you either own the property or you have the permission of the landowner
to
do so.
I was cracking the door out of my my master bedroom today, shooting at birds.
Nice.
I was laying
none of that here.
Well, I was laying prone on my upper deck with the door cracked. I was laying on the carpet with the rifle snaking out of the door, trying to kill my winged nemesis friends. So that's what we do here. But you also have texted me and said that you applied for a concealed carry permit. Did I read that correctly?
I applied for what they call. I can't get a unrestricted one in New York State. I can get what they call the sportsman restriction, which means that I can carry concealed at a range if we go hiking on my property. But that's pretty much it. Like I can't go downtown or I can't go out shopping and carry the handgun with me.
Right.
It's going to take me at least probably 6 months before that process is even played through and I get in front of the judge and he tells me whether or not, the state is going to let me have the right.
That's just for the limited version of that.
That's for the limited version. Yeah. I talked to a cop buddy and I asked him, when I fill this out, I said, should I just go for the unrestricted and then let them knock it down? He goes, no. He goes, don't even bother. You won't even get it.
I've heard that.
Yeah. You have to basically like show them that you have a business and that you carry around a certain number or a certain amount of cash, like on a daily basis with bank deposits before you would even be considered
Right.
for possible approval of something like that.
Wow.
So what, so obviously they don't obviously just want to, give them out. We see that, right? But how much is this, like, you just fill out the application? I mean, do you have to like take a class? Do you have to go do training? I mean, how prohibitive is it? I mean, how much money does it cost you?
Well, it's $150 they take from you, and that's not guaranteeing if you don't get approved, they keep the $150.
Oh, wow.
Oh, sure they do.
Yeah, of course.
But as far as training goes, that's the other backwards thing in New York State is that until you have the permit, until Daddy says you can have permission to have a handgun in New York State, you're not even allowed to have a pistol in your hand. So you can't get any training to see if it's even right for you.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. You're like, I could go into New Jersey and rent some time with a handgun. I would have to have somebody else in the stall with me. But in New York State, I can't do that. I couldn't even go to a range and have a friend teach me, unless he wanted to, kind of do it on the sly and maybe risk getting in trouble if there happened to be an ATF agent or something like that in the building that day. So yeah, I mean, it's just backwards. They make it as hard as they possibly can.
So
they just try and discourage you.
You can't even, I mean, obviously you can't. So once you get your permit, that allows you to actually purchase a firearm. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Then I can purchase a firearm.
But you can't go and figure out what you like, right?
Well, I could go to a store right now, and if I guess if I know the person at the shop, I could probably go and start handling one. But the technicality of actually like touching one, I don't know. I can't fire one.
Right. That's crazy.
And I can't get any training. So it's like,
Wow.
I suppose I could go and hold one in my hand and go, okay, well, the SIG P320 feels good in my hand, or the Smith and Wesson feels good in my hand. So I'll come back when I can actually try it. And you could do that, but yeah, I mean, I can't get training. You can't learn how it works. You can't get taught on it. So they want your money, and then they want you to go through all the hoops. I mean, the whole process is crazy. I had to have 4 people that are not family members, that are not related, that I've known for 2 years or longer, and they have to live in my county as character witnesses.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And then everybody in the house that lives in the same dwelling that is over the age, I'm going to say 18, but it could actually be lower than that. But 18 for sure, I know would be it. You have to get notarized permission from every adult in the house.
Oh, wow.
That you can have, that they give you permission to have a permit for a pistol in the house.
Oh,
So,
my gosh.
I mean, think about that. So if you have a big family and you've had, say you got a couple of brothers, or, you got siblings live with you for some reason, and then you've also got kids. Now you have to go march down to your local notary with, 8 pieces of paper and have everybody sign saying, yes, Daddy can have permission to have a pistol in my house.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
And then I suppose
insane.
if one of those people isn't okay with it, then you don't get it.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
they can screw you.
Then it costs you more money because you got to try to bribe them then at that point.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, "Oh, you have $150 cash for the permit. Well, you can come up with at least $150."
And I knew it was bad there. I had no idea it was that bad
I
there.
feel bad for ever complaining about anything over here.
Yeah.
That is, if I want a gun, I just go buy one tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And if I got arrested when I was I don't know 17, stupid, something really stupid. And like every teenager does in high school, a lot of us just do something dumb and you get cuffs put on you.
Right.
And it got dismissed like probably most teenagers' charges get dismissed. But in the forms, it's like big, highlighted, bold letters that say, if your case was dismissed or your papers were sealed, you have to disclose that you were arrested
Wow.
along with the court papers.
Even as a minor,
Because-
that's crazy.
Even though it's a minor, even though it was dismissed or sealed or tossed out, if the cuffs ever went on you for any reason, you have to declare that, because
Oh my gosh.
if you don't, it's grounds for automatic dismissal when they do the background check.
Wow.
So how soon before you move out of New York?
No, dude. I'm about 5 years too late.
Oh,
Oh, dang it. So what handgun do you think that, if you get your permit, right? And you just,
Yep.
what handgun are you thinking about?
I'm actually currently leaning towards the SIG P320. And the reason being is that AR9 that I sent you the picture of that I got,
Yes.
that takes the SIG P320.
Makes sense.
Okay.
magazine.
I cringed, but I see your reasoning now, and that's a good gun, I guess. It's a SIG, but it's a good gun.
I mean, I look around, I hear you talk about your VP9 a lot.
I love
I looked at that, and
love it.
that's pretty cool looking handgun.
Mhm.
If you end up with a VP9, I'll point you in the direction of an awesome trigger for it.
Mm-hmm.
I had a 320. I didn't mind it. I liked my other guns better. So
Yeah.
but I mean, it wasn't like it was a bad gun. I just wasn't for me. So
The only reason why I cringe when someone says a SIG, it's because a lot of my friends have SIGs, and I just give them a hard time. That's pretty much. I literally have no good reason, just except for just to be a devil's advocate. So
I got you. Yeah.
what's the ammo like over there? Is it hard to find right now, like it is everywhere else?
Yeah,
Or
it's like everywhere else. No, it's we got one or two local shops that will advertise that they've got like a bucket or a barrel of 5.56 comes in, but they're selling it for like at 5,000 rounds. They're giving it to you for like 67 cents a round. It's like,
oh
you
yeah.
can't do any better than that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You're buying in bulk at that point.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, where I got my rifle is over in Westchester, and I don't know how those guys do it, but I do have to say that when I finally said that's it, I'm going out and getting an AR style gun, because I gave up. What I was originally holding out for was the Ruger PCC.
Yeah.
Because they made a nice New York compliant
Oh right. Yeah.
version of it. So I figured, I had the M-lock up front, and it sounded like it was a pretty good gun as far as shootability, accuracy, and all that. And I like the breakdown factor of it too, the takedown that they had on there. I figured it would be something good, easy to travel with. But they just were not showing up anywhere, like everything else. And everybody was like empty here. There's no guns to be found. And I went over to this place in Westchester, and I don't know how they do it, but I walked in on a Saturday morning, and they had at least 15 to 16 different models on the racks. And when you found what you wanted, you just put it back on the rack. They went in the back and got it for you.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I tell you, I suspect they're still the same way. I don't know how the guy does it. He's apparently got a shipping container in the back of his shop, and he just orders in bulk.
Very nice.
And he must be like a first call kind of
Mhm.
dude as far as the distributors are concerned.
Yeah. Definitely put on the allocation list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've been, I keep my eyes open on the local forums. There's a New York gun forum that I'm on. That is, guys will sell some of the ammo that they've accumulated because they can make a little bit of profit, obviously, but they're selling it under what the current market value is. So for a guy like me, it's like, okay, I'll take it. I don't care. If you're going to sell it to me for 10 cents cheaper and I can get it from the store, I'll buy it.
Oh yeah, any day and all day. I mean,
Yeah.
around here we have some places that just price gouge like crazy, And then we have like one of the places like Mark works at, which is they're just regular price. It's fantastic. No, they didn't change their prices. Nothing like that. Now they limit you to a couple boxes, which I understand.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still good prices. And it's, but you know, those guys that are price gouging, they do it because people buy it. I mean, people pay it and they sell out. And there's a guy in town here. He will routinely get in anywhere from 15 to like 20,000 rounds. And dude will, and we're talking high prices. He'll sell out in 2 hours every single time. It's absolutely crazy.
I mean, that's the one thing that I definitely picked up on pretty quickly is that there's a sense of panic, and I'm glad I got the shotgun when I did, because it turned out if I waited about a month or two, there would have been no shotguns to have been had, at least none that I wanted.
Right.
I either wanted the Remington or I wanted the Mossberg. I ended up with the Remington 870.
Oh, hang on to that, because you probably won't ever see them again.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe that company bankrupted themselves for the second or third time.
Got too big for their britches.
So is anyone in your, I mean, you know, I'm not trying to get too personal here. Is anyone in your household interested in shooting or doing that kind of stuff?
My girlfriend, she filled out her permit for the pistol at the same time with me.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. She's gone out and she won't shoot the shotgun because it makes it. She's nervous.
Right.
She's small stature, so and I can understand that. I mean, I told her, you know, if you just hold it right and you get the right stance, I'm like, it's going to kick, but it's not going to knock you over.
Right.
You just got to be ready for it, and then once you do it the first time, it won't be so bad. You'll get used to it. But I can understand. She doesn't want to shoot that, but she shot my rifle, and she wasn't crazy about it, but she's going to go back and she's going to shoot it again. She's said that she will do that. And she shot a handgun a few times, as have I.
Right.
But, technically I haven't.
Sure. No, I got
it. If anybody's listening, Andrew.
Nobody listens to this. What are you talking about? I can't do half this stuff on here correctly anyway, so nobody wants to listen. No, so tell your girlfriend that it's she just has to ease into it. My kids, my daughter, she was 12 years old and she was on her school's trap and skeet team, and she would shoot routinely every week, and she shot it up at state, a full size 12 gauge Benelli semi-auto. Or Beretta semi-auto, and she got to the point where that's all she preferred. She didn't want to shoot anything that was even cut down to fit her. She liked that big one. So, she'll get there. She just has to be around shooting probably a little bit more, and that's awesome though that she's joined in with you a little bit there, and she's not fighting with you.
No. Yeah, I mean that was the best. That was the best part. When I first mentioned it in April, I was kind of like, "Here we go." I don't know if I'm going to win this one.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, yeah, okay.
That's cool.
Because she was watching what I was watching. And I mean, I don't know if you guys got to see, I mean, New York obviously got hit very hard with that first wave of COVID. So it was the sense of panic here was amplified, I think, as to what was around the country.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. I saw it on the news. That's, it's, oh my gosh. The country is just insane right now. It just has been all year, and stuff changes every hour, and it's just absolutely insane. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine living over there. I mean, Can you, Mark?
No,
I mean,
it's very difficult.
I think about when we sit here, me and Mark sit here, and we talk about before we turn the microphones on. We talk about all the problems around here. That's like nothing compared to over there. This is like absolutely not. I'm never going to complain again, Mark.
Yeah. It's definitely hard to when you hear how things are over there. I mean, I can't comprehend that. It's just because I grew up here in Idaho, and it's been like that my whole life. I mean, we've just been free to do whatever pretty much.
Right.
So that's totally weird to me to hear that stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not even just the guns. It's just the way they're picking on small mom and pop businesses over here.
Yeah.
Restaurants and places like that are just being, and you can see these people on the news. Their hearts are breaking. They're losing everything, and Cuomo's just up there taking in his tax money and giving himself a $25,000 a year raise this January.
Wow.
Man, that's just
it's from all them $150 pistol permit money that he never.
Yeah.
Well, and people keep voting to let him do that. I mean,
they keep voting him in. I know.
Yeah, I just don't understand that.
Well, if he gets reelected again after everything that he's done to small business owners this time around, then you know what? Then I'm out of here.
Yeah,
ahead of schedule.
Nice. Come see us in Idaho, man. We'll save a place for you over here.
Yeah, there's lots of room. So
there's lots of room.
It's still pretty cold there, though, isn't it? I hear you guys talking about your cold weather.
It's cold right now. I mean,
probably not any worse than what your nor'easters or whatever.
So it was almost 50 degrees today. What?
Oh, that's better than it was here then.
Yeah. So I mean, how much snow you got? You guys got that? Did you get hit with that big storm?
We got lucky right here. We only got about 6 inches, but anywhere north of me, like 5-10 minutes, even it was like they got a foot.
You got
more.
You got more than us.
Yeah. We get that in the mountains, but we don't get that around here.
So right. We're in the high desert. We're kind of in between the mountains, and we do get snow. We've had some bad winters, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, as far as cold, I mean, how hot does it get there in the summertime where you're at? We're going to convince you to move here.
Well, we'll get on a hot summer day here would be like low 90s. Average would probably be 90, very high 80s.
We're pretty close. We might have a couple weeks in the hundreds. Okay.
Yeah, but it's a dry heat.
Dry.
It's not humid.
It's dry heat, they say.
Yeah, it is. And so in the winter, how cold do you guys get there, and how much snow do you typically get? We're going to convince you to move here.
Typically, we haven't gotten much snow for the last 10 years here. We've had 1 or 2 bad winters. So when it all averages out, I'd say we might get 3 or 4 snowstorms a year around here. Maybe 20 to 24 inches or so has been about the average.
Holy cow!
But we've had some really brutally cold winters with that whole Arctic blast that comes down from Canada, and that's what gets me the most is the cold weather.
You moving over here would be like the tropics, okay?
Yeah.
We don't get, I mean, up in the mountains we get the snow, but when's the last time we've had 24 inches of snow here total?
Even Snowmageddon, a few years back?
Yeah, there's no way.
We didn't even get that much.
We get it when the wind blows it and drifts it and piles it up.
Yeah.
All right, so it's not as bad. You guys are making it sound, when I was listening to you and Cajun Cowboy on that last one talking about training outside, it
was cold that
sounded
day.
Like it was really okay. So it was just like a weird day for you guys then.
Yeah, well,
with the wind chill,
it gets cold. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's not like, yeah. I think
we do have a lot of wind.
I think would be better than where you're at weather-wise, but the worst case scenario, we wouldn't be any worse.
We were better today.
Oh yeah, we were better
today. We woke up and it was about 2 degrees here this morning.
Wow.
And you want to know the cool thing about Idaho is if all you got to do is have a Idaho driver's license and you're good to buy a gun.
That's America.
And you don't need a permit to carry concealed in this state. And there's a lot less people.
Yeah. And that's still America,
yeah.
I can live like that.
When you're ready,
people is good too.
When you're ready, you at least got to swing by and visit.
Yeah, oh hell yeah, man.
So that would be fun. So, well, I had some other questions for you, and I can't remember what they were. Of course, I'm very prepared. Sorry I got you on here so late. We meant to have you on from the get-go to hear our Christmas music and stuff, but
oh, that's all right. You know what? Honestly, I totally spaced because I was working today until about 5 o'clock, and then I just looked down at my phone. I'm like, holy crap! I saw your text. My alarm went off, but it was set to silent, so I never even got notified.
I'm
glad I looked down and saw your text.
Not a problem. Not a problem. So, hey, real quick, how did you went to a carbine class last weekend, correct?
Yes.
How'd that go?
Yes. that was a lot of fun. That was my second carbine class, but it was carbine 2.
Okay.
So we actually got into a lot of movement drills. We were using some of the barriers. We did some teamwork, 2 guys on a barrier, each taking a side. That was a blast. That was really a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
How much ammo did you go through in that class?
We probably went through about 400 rounds each for the day.
Nice.
Which was probably about 100 under where he would have been before the whole ammo shortage thing.
Right.
Kind of been hitting some people. He's trying to trim it down now. So where he used to say, he wanted 5 rounds on target. With 2 to the chest, 3 to the chest, 1 to the head, or something like that. Whatever you were doing. Now he kind of gives you the option. He goes, you can give me 2 or 3 if you're ammo deficient for the day. So,
right.
But I had enough, so and I was just looking to shoot, so I shot.
Has any of your, I'm sure you're around people that really don't. I mean, not necessarily in the class, but just people that you're around that don't necessarily like firearms and aren't into guns. Has any of them questioned you or given you some crazy look or even chastised you? No.
As a matter of fact, I've come to find out that more of the people that I actually have talked to on a daily basis are actually into guns, and it's just like something you keep quiet around here.
Oh, gotcha.
You don't go out, spouting off that you are into guns around here because, you never know when somebody's gonna come knocking on your door looking for what
That's true.
You've got in New York State.
That's true.
So I found out, like, my neighbor right behind me, I kind of knew he had guns, but I didn't realize that he was as into them as he is. So that was really cool. And they were actually our first 2 signatures on our paperwork. Yeah. So that was great. And that got the ball rolling. And then, the other people I talked to, one other person, my other neighbor, come to find out that she's been considering getting a permit the whole time. I'm like,
wow.
Do it. I'm like, do it. We'll sign. I said, I will tell you everything I've learned up to this point. I said, but just go do it. And that's the way it's been. I've been finding out more and more people are into it and support it. And that goes to, I was going to start saying before, but the other thing that getting into the community around here has awoken me to is, just how passionate a lot of the people are around here about their rights and about how restricted, Cuomo and the local governments are trying to make it, as far as, making it as difficult as they possibly can. They might not be able to strip away your rights, but they put up so many roadblocks that a lot of people just go, oh, God,
they make you they make you give up.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh.
There's a lot of people that support it. And I think there's a lot of people that were the way I was prior to getting my weapon, which is that I never had a problem with it. I always thought it was your right. I never thought it should be restricted, but I just never practiced, or wanted to exercise my rights until this year. So I think, it's surprising when you look at New York State, everybody automatically, you think New York City, which is very liberal, very left, very democratic. And that's not always necessarily a bad thing, but very anti-gun.
Right.
Very anti-gun down there. Mm-hmm. And a lot of those politics, unfortunately, run the state. So you just kind of think that New York State is very anti-gun, but it's when you get up into like my counties where it starts, and then everything north of me, it's like totally different world. It's, it's like probably a lot like what you guys experience. It's just, we can't be as open about limitations on some things that we can have legally.
That's my wife has always wanted to go visit New York, and I just keep shaking my head going, I like it here on my 2 acres.
Okay. Visiting is fine. You can visit, just don't move here.
I'll move. That's not a problem. Not a problem.
unfortunately, New York State will not recognize any other state's right to carry.
Right.
Yeah.
The opposite is true. When we leave New York, I think there's something about 32 or 33 states that will recognize New York's permit, but New York will not recognize any single state's permit if you come into New York State.
You can come to Idaho, and you don't even have to have a permit. You can come into Idaho, and as long as you can legally own that firearm, you can conceal carry without a permit while you're visiting this fine state.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice states like that. I guess I'm definitely going to have to. When I leave here, I've told people, I said that there's a couple of stipulations, taxes being one, property being another. You know, I have enough property that we don't have any neighbors that we can directly see.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, the main stipulation for me, though, over the last year or two has become, I am not moving anywhere where there is a noticeable population of ex-New Yorkers.
Oh,
because they bring their politics with them.
I think I've met one.
So
yeah, well then Idaho would be a great place for me because I would go there, and my goal is to move there and to just blend in.
But I'll tell you,
and I what do you guys call yourselves? Idahoans?
Idahoans. Yep.
Okay, well I would be an Idahoan.
So here's the thing: you gotta so we're good. But and you said you don't want to go where there's any ex-New Yorkers. We have Californians.
Well, they're even worse.
they're trying. They're trying their darndest to do.
So far, I haven't met very many that are bringing their politics with them, though.
Yeah, a lot of them are really good, and they come up here and they take my classes and they want to get their firearms, and so it's kind of a good deal.
Yeah.
But well, I really appreciate. It's probably I don't even know what time it is there. It's probably late. Who knows?
No, it don't matter.
I really though appreciate you actually listening to the podcast, finding our podcast. It's awesome.
No, I started searching for gun podcast, and yours was one of the ones that popped up, and I think for a little stretch there you weren't really putting anything out, and then like the last several months I've been catching. I'm like, okay, it's on the rotation now, and that last one that you put up and put out a feeler for people that just kind of contact you if they were into shooting or new or something. I was like, let me just send off.
Yeah, works.
Know my story.
We like to talk to people, and there's not very many people that get a hold of us, so we really appreciate it. I blame Mark. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Mark's the reason. So, but I think unless you got anything else you want to throw out there, I mean, I think we're good. I just wanted to thank you for joining us. I do appreciate that. And you've got my number, and you can continually text message me, ask me questions or whatever. We'll probably, if you've come on here once now, we'll probably get you back on again sometime if you're game for that.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, I'll probably have a good story to tell you in January because my course for January is going to be a force-on-force class.
Oh, that's fun.
Yes. Yeah.
The instructor, I was hesitant about taking it, but the instructor who has come to know me now, he said, "Do you trust me?" I said, "Of course I do." He goes, "Come, you'll be fine."
Yeah, it's a good adrenaline rush. Yeah, I enjoy doing that stuff. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. I know that I'm gonna have jitters that night, like getting into, the pre-talk that we do before every class. I'm sure I'm gonna be like all antsy and amped up for that one.
Well, that's cool. I look for we'll have you back on for sure, and you'll have to give us a breakdown on that and send some pictures or do something. That'd be awesome. I'd love to hear that.
Yes, yeah. Well, I'm sure you can tell me what it's like to be shot, right? Because I know you get shot by your students a lot with them.
I have been shot. Yes, I have been shot, and that's super fun. In fact, I signed up a whole bunch of ladies for a class. And I think that's why most of them signed up is because they knew that they were going to get to shoot me with the Sims rounds. But Mark doesn't realize he's going to come help me and he's going to get shot at.
I already
too.
volunteered for
that's
that.
That's right.
So.
Mark's going to get shot at too. So
I'm used to it. So
it'll be fun. But no, we appreciate having you on, and keep in touch, and we'll get you on in January. But
well, thank you for having me, man.
Oh,
It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic, and I'll catch you later. Thank you very much, John.
All right. Thanks, Todd.
Okay,
Take
see
care, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, well, that was John from Behind Enemy Lines up in New York, and he was on here and he was chatting with us, telling us what it's like to try to be a firearm owner and a Second Amendment advocate, and that was absolutely insane.
I had no idea. I mean, I thought I knew how it was there. I had no idea. That is, oh my gosh.
I mean, that was crazy.
I feel so much freer having heard that.
I complained so much about Idaho. I'm done complaining, man. I am done complaining. I mean, so this is what is awesome about John. So, and I was just thinking about this because it's the time of year I start planning my next year. And I know this podcast is going a little bit long, but I want to throw this out there because it's something I've been thinking about for the last week or so. I instruct, right? I have lots of people. I get busy instructing. My weekends get full. Everything gets full. And frankly, I don't go out I shoot here, right? But I don't go and take other training classes like I should. I used to do a lot more, but it's been a while since I've done that. And I'm thinking, I'm going to go get USCCA certified probably in February and do some different stuff like that. And I was telling my wife, I was like, I go and I run all these races. I think maybe I need to pull back from that, still run and train and that kind of stuff, because that's important to me. But I need to maybe go and I'm willing to pay the money to go run these races. I probably should take the same amount of money because it's not going to cost but the same, and go and do some more training classes and actually do some more stuff. And kudos to John, right? He's somewhere where it seems like it's pretty almost like a non-permissive environment for the most part, right?
Yeah.
But he has went and he's got what he can get. He's got his shotgun. He's got his 9mm carbine rifle, and he goes and he takes a class every single month.
Just the fact that he's doing what he can.
Yeah.
That just shows he's not backing down. He's not giving up.
And can you imagine the type of stuff he'd do if he lived in a state where he could actually go and do that more?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I'd probably have 100 times more fun with it.
Oh, so much more. And it's just, so that is a good example. I mean, I have people that take classes from me and they shoot in class and that's it. They'll never pick up their firearm. Train people. You need to train. You need to get out. You need to shoot. You need to do all kinds of stuff. You got to keep growing your knowledge base.
You saw me tonight. It's been a while since I've shot, and I was jittery as heck. I mean, I couldn't hold steady.
Oh yeah.
So
time to get out and shoot. Time to get out and do something. So, but hey, thanks again. I know he's probably going to re-listen to this, but thanks again, John, for coming on. And for any other listeners we have, thanks for putting up with us. Thanks for putting up with me and messing up YouTube Live and always having to restart stuff and possibly the audio may not sound that great. I really do appreciate the listeners and everyone that has supported the Patriot Defense, us and the Patriot Defense podcast, and me and all my classes as well. And me, I've been doing this business now. I've been doing this full time for a year now. I part-time for about the last 7 or 8 years, full-time for a year now. And I'm going to continue with it as long as I can. And as long as I keep receiving support, and I look forward to the next year. But if you got any questions or comments, or if you want to get on the podcast, you can call me. You can text me, area code 620-794-6223. That's area code 620-794 6223, and just say, hey, look, I listened to the podcast. I'd love to tell my story. You have a question, you just want to ask that. You want to leave a message for me to read on the podcast, I will do that as well. Some days I do have my crap together, some days not so much. But obviously, listening to John, he said there was a little area there where we weren't doing a podcast very much. It must have been busy or something, I don't remember, but we need to try and do these every week like we are. It's wintertime. That's the best time to.
We seem to get together better during the winter.
In the wintertime. So once again, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Share this on your social media page. Give your family the gift of Patriot Defense for Christmas. That's the best thing that you can give them.
That's a good gift.
That's
a gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
Right next to baby Jesus, that is the next best. Never mind. Okay.
That's pushing.
That's pushing. Until then, I'll see you guys next weekend. Next weekend for sure. And I may pop in before then. Just keep an eye on your devices. Yes, sir. Did I forget?
One quick thing. It is the holidays. No drinking and driving, and especially don't drink and carry.
Yeah, don't drink and carry. So if you're going to have a lovely beverage with your family, with your friends, put the firearm away, unload it, lock it up in the safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and carry your firearm, because that'll get you in trouble every single time. But until then, I think we're out of here. I will see you next weekend, and thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Stop the video. I do not know why I give it a 1 year. I've never